Um, so Animuto. Hey Martin, this is an amazing coincidence. I've been watching your tips for success videos in the past. Today I decided to check if there are any video updates. I've not visited your channel for months, and what do I see? You just updated your YouTube videos merely a few hours ago. Talk about the right timing. Yeah, good coincidence. I think, as I mentioned before earlier in the video, it's sometimes hard to find kind of business-related talks about mobile games on video, especially on YouTube. So, I think more and more of that will be coming because I think now in mobile games, and I always mull this over in my head. It's not it's almost not about the quality of the games anymore because there are so many great games out there. There's so many interesting, unique games, and lots of developers can make really good games. But it's not about that's only one half of it, and literally just one half of it. Not even half of it, to be honest. I think because there are so many bad games or so many unpolished games that do really well, like amazing. So half of it now is not the development, but it's the business side of it. And I think it's because it's becoming more competitive. We have to figure out like how to do the business better. We have to figure out what is our area and how do we get visible. And visibility is the biggest thing that I always talk about and think about mainly. How do we do more marketing? How do we get better at this? Should we pump out more games faster? I don't like to use that word pump out really, because games just sounds like it's on a conveyor belt. But at the same time, it kind of is, for small developers. Based on our experience, and this is just my experience and my opinion, and maybe some others share the same opinion. But for games now, is you can't spend too long building a game, and you can't spend too long polishing that game, because if you do polish it, that's a good user experience to polish a game. Of course, we all want to polish games, but if you spend so long and then it comes into the market and you only get 100 downloads a day, it's like, man, what was that? I just spent so long doing this and I put my heart into it and soul. That's great if you're just wanting to build great games. That's cool. But for those developers who are looking to really build a foundation business that makes revenue and can grow and hopefully can be acquired by a large studio or go public or whatever it is you want to achieve, the business model has to be right. So pumping out games, making games quickly might be part of that model. Also figuring out, say, SEO tactics, like for games, how do they become more visible? Changing the title of the game, use keywords in those titles. And I'm doing an experiment right now, and I've not talked about it yet on video because I don't want to. I don't want to do it until I have some results from this experiment. Maybe some of you have seen it, but I won't tell you just yet. It's a little bit of a secret. You might have seen it though. But I wanted to test this and see how it works, or if it shows results. Because if it does, then we have a model. We have a clear model of what to do. And I think that's really important. One is what type of games, do you focus on one particular area, and the other thing is visibility, how to get it into how to get more downloads, because it's all about downloads, and that's why we have hundreds of thousands of dollars of marketing acquisition campaigns where publishers will buy a user because they're all scrambling to get to the top and stay visible, and that's why it happens. And I think that's probably the same for most businesses out there. So, but Animuta, yeah, thank you for the comment. Keep them coming and keep the messages coming. All right, Tidus Vampire, excellent tutorial. Sorry for my English because my main language, because not my main language. Just would like to ask, does this plugin can't get users' friend list and data from Facebook? Oh, the Facebook plugin, yeah, I believe it can. Tidus, sorry. Facebook, yeah, you can. I think the latest plugin from Prime31.com, you can grab I think it's called the graph data or the friend data, or you can retrieve friends through that plugin. I've not used that functionality myself, but it's something that I think would be very powerful. And I didn't spend much time on it, mainly because there's like a million things that I'm always trying to do and prioritize, which stops me from doing certain things. So yeah, you can retrieve a user's friend list. I actually saw the code of that recently. The other one that I would suggest you think about is also Facebook the Facebook plugin from Prime 31, finding a way to have a score list or a scoreboard. Bejeweled Blitz on iPhone does this very, very well, really well. They retrieve the friends, and it's highly tied into Facebook. It retrieves the friends from Facebook, and then it shares the score, and it shares like objects and things. So when you play and you have a leaderboard, you don't just compete with, say, the leaderboards of people that you don't know, but you're actually competing with your friends. Now, I wouldn't suggest that you replace the Game Center leaderboards or whichever leaderboard you might have. I would say have both of those in there. Have the Facebook leaderboard and have like I say, Game Center leaderboard, because it's probable that most friends will not have downloaded the game as well. So you need to have both of those as a backup. But Facebook is a really powerful way. The other thing I would recommend, Titus, on Facebook is what we do is we reward players for doing a Facebook post. So in I think it was Blade Star X that we released recently, you get 5 geometry stars when you post to Facebook. And I think on the Android version of Killer Shooting Sniper X, if you post on Facebook, you unlock the rocket launcher for 3 play sessions. So it's a great way to get viral. So definitely like reward the action. You know, there is a function callback inside of the inside of the plugin, so you can see if the user did that call. Did that post, and then it can say, hey, the user posted their wall. Then you can put in your code to say, oh cool, here's your extra coins or your extra item, or you've unlocked this thing. So, but yeah, you know, again, thank you for the comment. I'm glad you're liking the tutorials for sure. Nilmar, again, great tutorial. Thank you. You're welcome. Awesome. Thank you for the comment. Comments really help guys as well in YouTube. They videos are ranked higher with the more comments and more activity they have. So, you know, please always comment, even if the comment is just like cool or great or awesome or hey. That's really helps, and it does rank us higher, because you might have noticed on YouTube we don't have a lot of views right now. It's just a time thing. Of course we'll get more views as time goes on and as we add more videos and we have more subscribers. But you guys are really helping out when you make a comment, so thank you very much for that. So let me see this one. Prashant. So hey Prashant. Need advice. Hey Martin, you are a god. I mean the god. That's a very, very excellent content on your channel. Oh, dude, thank you. That's the biggest compliment I've had yet. I'm interested in gaming. I'm a 3D artist. I can do all kind of 3D work like motion capture, animation, rendering, modeling, texturing, anything that comes with 3D. I can work in any kind of 3D software, you name it. I'm basically working in compositing and 3D animation for movie and TV. I'm thinking about moving into gaming. I have no idea about coding or scripting. My first question is how to start learning about gaming, which software will be good to go at first. Okay. What is a good way to learn scripting? Do you only work on mobile games, or is there any 3D game you have developed? Is there any freelance opportunity for 3D artists who knows all about 3D graphics, animation, but very little about gaming? So I hope you have other questions. Okay, so first question, Prashant. So my first question is, which software will be good to go at first? As always, Unity. Unity 3D, I recommend it. Go to unity3d.com, and you might have seen the tutorial in my channel, which talks about Unity and the Pong series of tutorials. Unity is the biggest mobile game engine for making games right now. A lot of studios build with it. There's a lot of support for it. It's free if you're not building for iPhone or Android immediately, so you can practice with it for free. You can also deploy on web, and I think you can now deploy on the Chrome App Store for free using the Unity 3D. So definitely check out Unity 3D. It's the biggest one, and I found it very, very easy to use, and the support is there. And also future jobs as well. Since a lot of studios are using Unity 3D, if you do become a coder and you are looking for work, you're more likely to get hired because other studios are also using the same engine. So what is the good way to learn scripting? I would say just practice and checking out good tutorials. You know, I think the first one is, if we're talking about our channel, is check out the Pong series tutorial that shows you how to make a basic Pong game. I tried to make that as simple as possible, which is why I started with the game Pong. And and it's aimed at beginners who have no idea about how to use Unity. So I think that's the best way. The other way is just to, once you've got a basic game, is actually just launch the game somewhere, either on iPhone or Android or on say, if you go to a Unity site which publishes Unity games like Kongregate.com, then you can start to get some practice and some feedback on the game as well. Unity as well also has some great tutorials. There's also some other great tutorials on YouTube as well. If you type in Unity tutorial, you'll find a bunch of them. The good ones that I found originally were on the Unity forums. At Unity, if you go to unity3d.com, if you just go to support, I think there's a tutorial section, and that's also a really good way to do it because they have the most efficient ways to do things, and they do explain it pretty well. So do you only work on mobile game, or is there any 3D game you have developed? I have worked previously. Actually, when I first started to work in Unity, I was trying to build a sort of third-person 3D shooter. It's an interesting story, and I plan to do a video series on sort of my story so far. Maybe that will be interesting and useful for you guys. I want to know if people want to see that, but it'll be my story so far building a game studio. Maybe you guys will find that interesting or not, I don't know, but please let me know if you want me to do those videos. So I worked on this game, a third-person shooter, before I started to do mobile games. I was actually working at EA Games whilst I was doing this, and I was working at EA through the day, and then I was building this third-person shooter, and that was my first dip into Unity, was building this third-person shooter 3D with models, and we actually got a really good sort of demo or good fun game going, I thought anyway. And the goal was to sort of find a funder, an investor, to help us build the team in the studio, but that didn't work out. But yeah, I did do some 3D before, but I find 2D is much more accessible and much more for the players on iPhone and Android. They're generally more comfortable with 2D games, and you get more interaction, more engagement. So is there any freelance opportunity for 3D artists who knows all about 3D and graphics animation but very little about gaming? Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of outsourcing studios or studios looking to build their own games are looking for 3D artists, freelancers as well. I think, and people don't generally know about the games because it can be an independent thing. You can build your model with animation, or you can render this image or whatever it may be, and then the coder or the Unity developer will plug that into their game, and Unity does that really well. So there's lots of opportunities. I think where to find freelance opportunities, I think check out LinkedIn.com. LinkedIn.com is a great way to network for business and to find jobs, freelance jobs. Go to the groups, join some groups like Freelance Artists or 3D Artists. There's one group that I'm in called China Game Jobs. They might be looking for some freelancers. They often require a lot of, you probably know, like a portfolio, some images to work with. But if I do know some people as well, I can recommend you, or if you send me a message with your portfolio, it'll be cool to check out. Or if you have a YouTube video of your portfolio, that would be a great thing to see as well if you do a video, because then people can just click on YouTube and then see it quickly. But I hope that goes well, and definitely keep going with the scripting. I hope it works, and then just drop me a comment if there's any questions you have. So anyway, again, thanks for the comment.